Assalamualaikum everybody. Good morning. This is Dr. Marisa Malik, Director for Center for University Industry Collaboration, CUIC-UM. Just going to explain what we're going to do today. Thank you all for joining. We have Datuk Nora Manaf of Maybank waiting by the side, waiting for this session to start. So before we start, I just want to check whether all of you can hear me clearly. Yeah. So if you see, if you guys can hear me well, just put a smiling emoji. If you cannot hear me well, just put a crying face. Okay. Sorry, if you hate this, just put the puking emoji, but I don't think you're gonna do that. All right. For the next 1 hour, we're gonna ask, not ask lah, kita nak grill Datuk Nora Manaf. I want to put her on the spot. And we're going to talk about the new work order, future-proofing talent in an era of disruption. Okay, we're going to wait till 10. So sit back and relax. It's okay. It's cool if you're wearing your pajamas. I'm not judging. You can wear your sarong as well. What else? Go grab a popcorn, get your coffee. This is the good thing about doing it virtually because I can't see you. But you guys can see us, so we need to dress up. I'm just taking this chance to actually, put on a little bit of makeup. I miss dressing up to work. I'm sure Datuk Nora as well. And we have been enjoying working from home. We get to spend time with our family. I'm sure that Datuk has always been very busy. But now, this is actually a hikmah whereby we get to spend our time with our loved ones. My quick shout out to all the frontliners. You guys are doing a hell of a good job. I can't say hell, right? You guys are doing a really great job. We appreciate what you guys are doing. So everybody, please continue to give us support to the frontliners, to all our leaders, because this is a trying time for everybody, and we need to really work together to beat this. Inshallah, there'll be light at the end of the tunnel soon. We just need to persevere. Everybody, this is our featured speaker for today. I will not read the details. Obviously, Datuk Nora is so qualified. We are all fortunate to have here with me us today. Datuk Nora has always been very supportive of all our initiatives to actually minimize the gap with the industry and academia. And we are very fortunate to have somebody as capable of her, like her, to be with us today. Dato, are you ready? Are you okay? Are you ready?
Can you hear me, Dr. Malin?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, Dato.
And you're very kind. There was a very kind introduction.
All right. Okay. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, to all of you who have just joined us, our topic for today is the new work order, future-proofing talent in an era of disruption. And we have the lovely and the vibrant Datuk Nora Manaf of Maybank Berhad join us this morning. A little bit about Datuk Nora. Datuk Nora is the Group Chief Human Capital Officer and also a member of the Group ESCO of Maybank. Datuk Nora is the chair of several national level committees and holds several board memberships. Datuk is also the CEO at faculty under KPT's University Industry Initiatives. She's also a member of UUM's University Industry Advisory Council and also an adjunct professor of School of Business Management UUM. Datuk has been recognized as a global top 50 human resource professional. And for all of you who knows her very well, she strongly advocates women empowerment, girl power, and also she strongly advocates diversity and inclusivity in the organization. She is the executive sponsor for Maybank's Women Mentor Women Council, established in 2013, as well as a mentor for the ICAEW Talent Corp Women in Leadership Program. Datuk Nora holds a postgraduate certification in HR development from Cornell University and also a graduate of the prestigious Advanced Management Program, Harvard Business School. For me personally, Datuk Nora is someone who exudes power and influence, but she still has that touch of elegance and warmth. To sum it up, I think she's somebody that kicks ass and get things done. So, Datuk, thank you again. I'll start with the first question. I've received a lot of suggestions for questions. So here's the first one. What does the new normal means to you, Datuk? And how do you go about in ensuring business is as usual as you work from home and keeping tabs on the human capital front of Maybank?
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Malin and everybody who's listening. And a very good morning. Now, did you say you had one question? That those are three questions which will take us until this evening.
It's okay. We have all day. It's okay. Those who can tune in, they'll just join. No worries.
Okay, so what does the new normal mean to me? I think if you wanted one single liner for the answer, and I think this applies to everybody, not just me, going through the current experience that we are all in all the countries all over the world. It's not just us here in Malaysia, and that would be getting comfortable with things that you're not comfortable with. Okay? That's the new normal, right? You just have to find a way to get comfortable with things that you are unsure of, you never experienced, or even you're not comfortable with. And there's so much learnings that that we are getting, all right? Just going through this process of changes and disruptions, if you like. But it is also, I don't want it to be a negative thing. Okay? I have always said that, and I'm a believer, okay, that there's a silver lining in every dark cloud. Okay? And dark clouds are sent to us for a reason, isn't it? Yeah?
Yes,
So I
definitely.
think absolutely. So let's have a positive lens to all of this. Okay? And always remember this fabulous saying: there is no education like adversity.
Yes. Nicely put, Datuk. Nicely put. I do agree. You need to go through a little bit of rain to get the sunshine.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
It's always the flip side of everything. It's just, it's all in the mindset.
exactly. If you've never suffered an illness, you'll never value health.
That's it. Yeah,
You've
very.
never had pain. You don't know what, being healthy means, right? So
Definitely. Yeah.
everybody, that's the first and very foremost thing that I want to talk to everybody about. Get comfortable with what you're uncomfortable with. Find the silver lining and be kiasu enough. Everybody knows the word kiasu, yeah?
Kiasu. All right, that's a good word. Kiasu enough.
Kiasu enough to find what's in it for you and how to make the best of the discomfort that you are facing. Okay?
Yeah.
So for a business, from a business standpoint, if you ask me, okay, that's exactly what we are telling our people. We are connected. Okay, mind you, right? There are 43,000 Maybankers,
Yeah.
20,000 in Malaysia. We are all still connected, even though we are all at home. Most of us are at home. 80%, about 80% of Maybankers are at home, but we are still connected. That is also, that took us a week or so. So learning fast is important as well. It took us about a week to find our way, right? And to then become more savvy at how to navigate how things are today. So from a business standpoint, we have so much learnings. We are all so excited about implementing the new normals, Dr. Malik. Right? So the
That's
new
good.
is not a cliche. It's not
Yeah.
just a nice word that people talk about. We have actual plans, right? So that's the other thing I want to remind everybody listening. Okay, don't just plan and strategize and think. When I say debrief, right? Think about this.
Yeah.
You also need to take action because learning is about experience, right? So we have plans on how we're going to be rolling out the new normals, how we're going to take advantage of the new normals. We give confidence to each other because, like I said, it's very uncomfortable, right? So we give confidence to those who are not comfortable to take this in baby steps, but not too long, right? So from a business perspective, also there are going to be new normals. Now, your next question about how do I go about ensuring business is as usual? I think, I'm going to say that what do we mean by business as usual, right? We
Yeah.
don't do business as usual as it were, okay? We want the new normal to be business as usual. And continuous learning, immediate agility, right? Later, I'm sure we will talk about the skills that's required. So agility is very, very key, right? And we will learn. Now, my goodness, look at what's the coverage today in terms of handling of COVID-19.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we're having now. People don't know, right? So if we are waiting, if you listeners are waiting for what is the recipe, what is the answer? I'm sorry, right? The
That's
answer
nice. That's nice.
learn, seize, and kiasu the, the opportunity,
Yes.
right? So that's how we go about making sure that business will be as usual. We all focus on the outcome, okay? Like Maybank, I always say to my team, and this applies to everybody, right? We have to be profitable. Why? Because if we don't make money, we
You
can't
can't
even help
help people.
ourselves.
You can't help people.
We can't help others, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So the ultimate objective is the well-being of the shareholders, of us, the employees, and the society. So because we can help them,
Yeah.
right? The other sub we learn, we
Stop,
learn,
stop, stop.
right? And we
Talking,
go
talking
about
like a, speaking like a tauke there.
yes, right? We are all tauques. Now, as we are learning, all right, we just make sure that we are nimble
Mhm.
towards the final objective. Right? So that's how we make sure that business will be as usual. Okay. And keeping tabs on the HR front, I told you we are using all technology that's at our disposal, but we also use relationship. That's the new normal as well. Technology must always go hand in hand with human skills, right?
Yeah.
So they will never replace the smile that I look at on your face now, the warmth that you right that you can't get from just using a voice system, right?
Right. That's right. I like the fact, I follow you regularly on your FB page. I'm not stalker. I'm not stalking you, but
Nice.
I'm and I'm learning as well because in Maybank I see that you guys have this work from home challenge. So you have things to achieve every day, and that is outside of the whatever normal things that you guys are doing. And I think I like the fact that you Maybankers remain connected. They can see actually a different side of their bosses. I see people commenting on the dish that you've made, and they say a different Datuk Nora because you have a different side of you at work, and then they see a different side of you, a more softer side of you at home, and that is what makes people human. And I think this is very important. You mentioned about being agile, being nimble, and also to still have that human connectedness. Nothing can actually replace the interaction that we have. Technology is the enabler, but I like that you mentioned about still remain connected. That is very important, and I think in times like this is very important.
Very much so.
We'll go to the next question. Many have talked about right sizing and job displacement by artificial intelligence and things like that. How do future graduates further equip themselves in ensuring they would still be sought after and remain relevant? We have a lot of students asking me, Doktor, ada ke kerja nanti? Macam mana ni, Doktor? So let's hear it from, the HR honcho here.
Thank you, Marlene. Well, my first response to everybody, okay, really, on the concern that Dr. Marlene just mentioned, okay, you know, I'm going to switch to rangkaian bahasa sekejap, right?
Boleh. Kita boleh cakap campur.
Yes.
Makan belacan kan? Kita makan belacan.
Yes. Rezeki ada di mana-mana. Okay. Now, and if you don't believe in that, then you will have a problem. You have to believe in that. You have to believe that there is an opportunity for everybody. So likewise, for employers, if we want to continue doing business, of course we need employees, right? Now, so there is always that need. It's your job. So employers will train, right? As we evolve, as we also learn, companies are learning, right? How to stay relevant. So that's the key word. How do you stay relevant? Okay? So while companies are evolving and shaping and transforming to make sure that we continue to be relevant to our customers, yes, of course, there is some responsibility on the companies, on the organizations, to train our people to continue to be relevant to the new business model. Okay? But it cannot be solely on the employees, on the employers. All right. So what is your role? If you are relevant and you have what we need, you will always be needed. Dr. Malik knows last week we needed to hire people. We have not stopped. So we did a virtual career fair. We did virtual interviews, right? And we loved. I went into some of the interview rooms. We had 5 rooms running at all times. We had interview panels in it. And I popped in. I am so happy with the quality of the people.
That's good to know. That's good.
Yes. So continue to be that way, right? Continue to be relevant. Now, what does being relevant mean? So let's peel that onion a bit. When I say companies are evolving and making sure we're relevant, it is relevant to the new normals, right? The new demands. Okay? Standard, demand supply, right? So what is it that people want today? It has everything to do with what digital gives us, right? So it's not just the technology. What does the technology enable you and I as customers to enjoy, right? So for the first time in mankind's memory, I think, okay, was centuries ago, right? This is the first time with the advent of internet, right, that you and I can have our say in what we want. Yes. Prior to this is the product, this is the service, take it or leave it.
Yeah, right? Everything will be dictated to you.
Correct.
You need to follow.
Exactly. Today, The power is in the consumer's hands.
Yes.
I don't like this. I have another choice. I
Yeah.
don't, I have another choice, right? And this is all because of the technological advances and the internet, right? So, being relevant means understanding that. So, firstly, understand that, everybody out there. Okay? So, I'll come to quickly on what is competence. And this is basic things that I'm sure you were told in your first year of your studies. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Competence. Being competent is a combination of at least three things. One is skill, okay? And that's what you've been taught, right? Second, but it's not just skill alone, right? So skill plus experience or knowledge and knowledge, right? That's experience and knowledge. And third, mindset and attributes. Tak ada salah satu, tak boleh jalan. All right? Please remember that. You can be so skilled and you have certificates from everywhere in the world, but know all your four dindings. All right? But you don't have the experience, you don't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
And you are negative all the time. Right?
Mm.
You
Mm.
sit there and expect people to feed you. Right? You're not going to be relevant. Right? Nobody will want you. Right? So think of that together. You have to have all three. So, coming back to what I said just now, know what the situation is today. Know that companies are all struggling. Everybody's struggling, no exception, right? Trying to remodel ourselves in the current world and the current demands of the consumers. Now, if you represent some skills, okay lah, tak payahlah semua skills. You don't have all the skills. There's no perfect person,
Yeah.
right? There's no perfect robot either. Okay? But you have some skills. What you're graduating with, for example. But more importantly, you are absorbing knowledge left, right, and center, learning about the COVID experience. What is happening? Why is everybody? Some are angry. Some are angry about not opening the businesses. Others are saying, "Do not you don't you dare open the business." Isn't it?
Some are angry at so many things. Everything.
Right. So why is it there's no one answer? Is everybody stupid? Isn't it? Right? So when you do that thinking, you are experiencing, right, what the realities are. Then you become more mature. Maturity and wisdom has nothing to do with age, let me tell you.
Yes,
Okay?
definitely, definitely. I've seen people who are younger than me who are more mature than me.
Absolutely.
We are talking about EQ, right? Being
Yes.
emotionally intelligent.
Right. And the third part of the formula is your attributes, your mindset. Don't worry, character can be built, right?
Yes.
So I'm very practical, right? Nobody's born perfect. Some of us, unfortunately, everything we see the negatives first, right? We can learn. You can learn to hold yourself back, right? There are many courses online pun ada, right? For you to train yourself, right? Discipline yourself to start with the positive. Look for the positive. It's okay, right? So arm yourself with all those three and then be very agile. Everything I say, I mean it, yeah? Be very kiasu. I love kiasu people. I love people who are hungry. Okay? Because when you're hungry, you want things, right? You don't have to be pushed, right? If you are like that, companies love you. I find you, I offer you immediately. Okay, so I think that's my long answer, right? So from a technical perspective, yes, of course, there are some new things that you must try to get right on top of your degrees and whatever. For example, you must understand social media marketing if you're doing marketing, right? Or even everybody needs to market. That's another misnomer, right? Everybody must learn how to market. You must learn how to do social media marketing. You must learn how to do this virtual coaching, right? It's uncomfortable for some people initially, for me, for you, right? So we are learning, right? Some people call it geek acumen. Okay, I'm still trying to learn what that means. Okay, of course, like portfolio building, search skills. That's a new word, right? A new phrase, but it is very important. Search skills is a technical skill that people must learn. File conversion, and of course the things that you're more familiar with, coding, right? Website creation. Yes, I can go on and on. You have those are 4.0 skills. But don't forget my formula. So you also need problem solving skills. Okay, you can be so good at web creation, but you don't know how to problem solve. That means you don't know what the customer needs, and you go talking on your own. Okay,
Syok
so
sendiri. Syok sendiri lah tu. Ah,
yes, you yes, right. So problem solving is important. Thinking skills, I mentioned just now. Learning skills, human skills, and don't forget the last one before I keep quiet and get my next question. Ethics.
alright. Okay. Alright.
Integrity, ethics is so important, especially in the current world, right? Because in the current world, actually, there are many things you can do that people don't see you, right? So you are under the false impression that you can do whatever you want to do. Now, be careful, right?
Yeah.
Technology allows people to search you and to know you a lot more than you think people can.
Yes. Yes. Screenshot and make it viral.
Yes.
And that will stay on cyber space for a long, long time.
Absolutely. You can't erase it, right? Even if you.
Yeah.
So, in a nutshell, be a tech talent, right? But orang yang menuntut tak habis, when they hear tech talent, they thought, oh, okay, coding, coders, right? Remember the whole package. That's what I mentioned just now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Dato. It's a little bit of head, a heart, and always the drive to improve yourself. And always remember that, orang lain tak nampak, atas nampak. That's
Yes,
the CCTV yang kita patut takut. Betul
absolutely.
kan? Okay.
Absolutely.
Alright. I received this question ramai, kawan-kawan ibu yang tanya. Malin,
Yeah.
please ask me this question to Dato. Dia kata, this pandemic poses new challenges that has led to changes in the way we do things. Work from home is something that is normal now. And how about working women who has to be at home, to be answerable to the bosses, and also you have everybody at home tugging at your apron string, so to say. So as somebody who handles or who helms the group chief human capital aspects, so how do you ensure that all these working women are not being left behind? They can actually maintain and sustain whatever that has been going all this while, so that they will not feel left out.
A very powerful question, actually. Yeah. But let me set the stage, okay? Um, this area of the pressures on moms actually is it also applies to the other diversities.
Yes.
Okay, because for a fact, and this one I'm not making it up. In my own team, we discovered early on. I think it must be in the first or second week. We were having a meeting, right? And one of the dads was actually the one babysitting. Okay, and it was okay, so we understood. So I mean, so this is actually not just for the women what we're going to be covering. Okay,
Yeah.
so I suppose the first thing we need to think about is the fact that for Maybank, for example, yeah, we chose to use the category flex, the category title flex. Why did we choose flex? Not because flex could be the popular word people use, right? We are not trendy people, as you can see. We are classy people, okay?
Yes, classic, classic.
Yeah. So we chose flex very, very consciously because flex gives us wide enough space to recognize diversity. People are different. Just because you and I are women and mothers and professionals doesn't mean we are the same, right?
Yes, yes.
And this is one of our learnings just in this COVID experience, Dr. Malin. My
Yes.
goodness, you know what we discovered? We discovered some mothers whom we thought initially wanted to work from home. They said, please get me back to the office. Okay? Yeah. So, so learning to compartmentalize your life in at home is is tough, but but some love it and some are acing it, doing it really really well. Oh, seamless, elegant, isn't it? Everything sub soy, right? But and these are working mothers themselves, right? And another working mother is requiring depression management, isn't it? So it is diverse, all right? So there is no one type of working mothers. That is something that we have learned. So to your answer to your question, we have always wanted to. Maybank has always recognized diversity and inclusivity. We do not again use it just to make people happy because companies are supposed to recognize diversity and inclusivity. We have always been that way. So our policies are that way too. So these learnings, my team is scrambling over the last few weeks, thinking about, okay, now we've discovered this, right? The example I gave you just now. How do we then make sure that we enable this differentiation? Otherwise, if we just use a list, right, or we data analytics, right, we extract data and say working mothers, then we treat all the working mothers the same. Then we are going to kill some of our talents, right? Because some of our talents say, no, 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 please, I don't want to work from home, right? Don't worry, I will take care of my family, right? Like I have always done, but I do better when I can focus in the office. Whereas another working mother says, oh, I love this. Yeah, I am in charge. I'm in control. Yes, give it to me. So our policies allow that. That's how we manage it. And we have, inshallah, as much as possible, we think about what are the enablers, right? And we ensure all the enablers are given to the different types, all the different categories that will fall within flex. So to our listeners, right? When we say the second question just now, yeah, how are you going to be relevant? Do we want you? You need to be yourself. Please be yourself. Okay? Don't try to fit what you think we want and then you build that persona because you are going to not be successful, right? You will find yourself having so much stress, you will not going to be of help to the company. All right?
Yeah.
So don't pretend. Authenticity is another skill, is another requirement living in a digital environment.
Yes.
Okay? Don't worry, be yourself, tell people how you are, you will get the right opportunity. Right? So if you think you have to be comfortable. Yeah, I'm going to go there on that point, right? You have to be comfortable with diversity because companies are not going to have only one type of employees, right? So it's time for you to grab. It's now you have a choice. So in Maybank, like for example, I said we have flex workforce, right? You can
Yeah.
be a 9 to 5, 5 day week person, or you can be a 3 day week person, right? Or you can have a contract with us on number of hours, right? With a clear outcome. And therefore, even the pay package will be very clear. But that's what the world needs today, right? Because I'm different, you're different, another person is different. Just because our hair is black doesn't mean we are the same. Okay?
Tapi dah lama tak touch up, dia ada colour-colour sikit lah Datuk. Rambut.
Ah,
Pergi salon.
betul.
Okay, so Datuk, just to recap what you have mentioned, we talk about companies giving the right kind of support to working mother. We're not just going to say working mother, working parent, right? Because we want to have this gender equality thing. I've seen guys who are trying to find a balance between being at home, being a dad, and also contributing to the work front. For me, with my husband, we always have clear um, you know, um, discussion on what to expect. It's always about being considerate of others. It's always about having your own space and always support each other. And it's very important, as employee, if you feel that, you want more support from your employer, that means just speak up. Because no solution one size for everybody. Yeah. All right. And Dato, you mentioned about, I like the fact that you mentioned about a person needs to be very genuine, very sincere, because if you fake it, you're not going to make it because you keep on showing a different persona, and people would soon know. And I'm sure Dato, experience as you are, going to a room when you see 100 candidates, you can actually spot which one are the genuine ones, which ones are, the fake ones, right? Just in one glance, you can actually tell.
Very
Definitely.
much.
Thank
Have
you.
a very antenna.
You have that radar that can spot, right? And I like, whenever that, we speak about this, you always stresses on it's not just grades. Because there are students that say, no, I have to maintain this and that. I need to get a first class degree, but it's not just about grades. It's how you as a person. We can have, candidates who are with a CGPE of 3, but can be an excellent part of a team member. Right, Dato? It's not just about grades.
Yes.
And parents as well, they need to understand, because now we have seen, you talk about being kiasu, but taking kiasu at another different level. We have parents that forces their kids to take so many different tuitions, and then kid tu pun tak tahu kelas apa yang dia pergi. Because you cakap, no, mami dulu tak dapat benda ni, yang pergi belajar ballet lah, karate lah, apa kan, sampai budak tu naik lembik. And it's not about, trying to stuff everything. It's just about finding something that you're good in, and persevere and stick to that.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Banyak pula I cakap pula ni benda tu. Sorry. Okay, let's go to the next question. The younger generation is the generation usually associated with the terms FOBA, fear of being alone, and FOMO, fear of missing out, which normally lead to their expectations of instant gratification and being in the in crowd and accepted. What would your advice be, Dato, to this younger generation in ensuring their takes on things should place them on a better edge amongst their peers?
Again, a very important question, Dr. Mali. But I have a lot of faith in the younger set. Okay, you know why? Because I have seen it for myself. How mature they are. Okay, how they have learned to adapt themselves and to learn how to live amongst friends and people who are so networked to each other. Yes, in the beginning, there was a lot of talk about, oh, they need to be liked, right, in the social media. So they measure themselves with how many likes they get, right? But I think, Alhamdulillah, I'm very thankful that I know for a fact that they have matured, right? They have matured very, very fast. And those of us as well who are not so young, okay?
Young at heart. Datuk, young at heart. Jangan cakap not so young.
Absolutely. And we are digital citizens as well by now, unless we've been living in some cave somewhere, right? Uh, I am in social media from the very beginning, not because of anything. I force myself. It's not something I'm comfortable with. I force myself because I want to learn. I want to learn how does it feel to be out there, right? Oh my goodness, I know it's hard. Okay? Suddenly I find people I don't know talking to me, right? It's like, oh my God. Okay? So, and people judging me, right? So, but Alhamdulillah, like I said, we have all moved forward. We have all learned. So I have a lot of faith in our young and our people today, right? That they are not reactive with social media. They are learning to be themselves. They are learning to have more confidence in their uniqueness, right? So they no longer say, I have to be like this or I have to be in this group, right? So So I love the fact that they are that way. Plus, again, the COVID experience, right? You see that you know, the even in the advanced economies where they are more Wi-Fi, they are more connected, they have more of their technological tools. We know that, you know, we are struggling in the country. A lot of people don't have laptops, don't have iPad. But when I look at those that have, all right, they are not all sitting at home enjoying, and you know, there's solitude, right? They are out there. You see those pictures of the teachers going on their rounds in the car, and a teacher sitting in the courtyard, in the garden, you know, making connection, teaching the child. There you go, right? So whilst they are natives, right, they were born with iPads in front of them, right? But they still want to see, where's the teacher I love, right? I want to see her in person, right? Okay, I can't hug her, but she's sitting in front of me, right? Whereas otherwise, we would have assumed that they would prefer looking at the teacher through the iPad. They are not, they don't, right?
Yeah.
So, Alhamdulillah, you know, I'm happy that whoever who keeps on saying that the youngsters want this, the youngsters want that, they are the ones who are left behind. I
Yeah.
always baik-baik. Jangan ajaran sesat, menuntut tak habis. Okay? Right? Because, you know, I'm glad also people have moved on, but people have always talked about Generation X is like this, Generation Z is like this. And I always, Dr. You know that. I always debunk. That's the first thing I say. Excuse me. I am not a Gen Y. I'm not a millennial. But I value a lot of what you say the millennials like. Right? I said, instant gratification. Siapa tak nak? Right. Even as an 80-year-old wants to be immediately recognized. What the heck are you talking about? Oh, just now you said don't use some words. I use what the heck lah. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. We are all good here.
Yeah. So who doesn't like instant gratification?
Yes.
Tell
Yes.
me, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
So don't stereotype. So that's the other thing, right? Do not stereotype. Do not go around saying you know everything, because the world is, you know, humbled today, right? It's God's way of showing us you don't know anything, right? Now learn from the COVID experience.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
are, you know, humbled, okay, to know to be to go through this. Okay.
I concur, Datuk. I've learned a lot from the younger generation. Even with my kids, there are things that I'm struggling to do. They will just ask, "Mommy, let us show you. Mommy, let's do this."
Yeah.
And you know, we need to have that respect for others. It doesn't matter whether you're a boomer or a Gen Y or Gen Z, millennials. Doesn't matter. If we can learn from others, why not? And I've seen millennials, younger generation, amongst our university students who are very mature, who can give really good points. And I like the fact that, you know, they like to give their opinions. And that's right. We are not, we don't want to produce all yes men who just follow. They need to be critical of things. And of course, whenever that they want to express their opinions, it needs to be the right manner. We are not talking about being rude. We are talking about agree to disagree.
Yes.
Definitely. It is very humbling experience and also refreshing to be able to learn new things from others. And whenever that, you know, at CYCUM, we always have lots of interns, and we do turn to them and say, okay, Khalid tolong ni, Naim tolong ni, Wan tolong ni. And it's okay for us to say, I tak tahu, tapi you guys can do it better. So daripada I struggle and taking a long time to learn about new things, might as well I use the shortcut way of, you know, making them do it for me. That's how we do things now.
Yeah.
I have a question, ni from our TNC HEPA, Dr. Associate Professor Dr. Hendrik Lamsali. Hi Hendrik, thanks for tuning in. Dia,
I
dia,
Henrik.
Hendrik mesti, kalau Datuk Nora ni pasal dia mesti nak tune in. Datuk, Hendrik tanya, what do you think about the future of freelancing in the banking sector, especially for our graduates, for the new graduates? Lepas tu dia tulis, sorry I missed the earlier session. Henry, aku dah ingatkan dah. I dah ingatkan dia pagi tadi. Okay.
Are you recording this? Then he can catch up later. And then there'll be a
Yes, saya boleh tengok.
I'm gonna ask you some questions about what we said earlier.
Yeah,
For
put him on the spot.
okay. Well, again, a very powerful question, Dr. Hendrik. For the information of everybody, and this may not be the latest statistics, right? It could be higher. But out of our, in Malaysia, right, our 15.5 million workforce, right, close to 30% are actually freelancers. Okay, so they are not the normal permanent employees. So you do the maths, that means there are almost 4 million freelancers. Okay, so just now I mentioned, right, that I want you guys to have an open mind, right? Because rezeki ada di mana-mana, it may not look familiar to you. Okay, so you have to understand that. And you must understand when we say you have to be sincere, you have to be authentic, right? And I shared with you some of what we learned, okay, about ourselves, that even mothers, the working mothers have different needs, right? So for yourself, don't try to conform to one profile of a graduate, one profile of a job seeker, okay? And so you have to, like Dr. Hendrik is pointing out here, right? Some of you may do better when you are not permanent, you are flex. Okay? But I also understand the point that Dr. Marlene mentioned just now is very, very key. What was that? That one is about parents, okay, society. Yes, I understand, right? Unfortunately, a bit slow, but hopefully, inshallah, because of the COVID experience and everything, right? People get wiser even faster, right? The fact remains that yes, there may be some stigma, if you like, right? To associated to people who are gig workforce, right? People may look at them and say, that means you don't have a job, right? That means you're a bum, okay? But here's what I want you guys to tell the parents, or the pachi or the uncle or the auntie, right? Tell them the richest people in the world, right, are people who don't have permanent jobs. Okay, they are gig, they are entrepreneurs, they employ people, right? So don't, please don't worry, mom, dad, right? Ini lagi satu, I always use this example, right? Let's say your girlfriend or your boyfriend want to introduce you to their parent. I know, right? The parent is going to ask, dia kerja apa?
Betul. Dia macam cerita piramid.
Right?
Betul.
Yes. But I don't want you to be afraid. Okay, dulu memang you're afraid. I say, oh, yeah, yeah. So I don't want to meet first until I have a job, right? Take that opportunity to make a difference to the people. Coach them, right, and give the examples of people famous people, right, who do not have, who've never had a full time job themselves, right? Not never had permanent job, right? And the people who are actually contributing the most in terms of financials in the current pandemic, right, are people who did not have permanent jobs. Okay, I like the CNN anchors who said we turned Gates upside down and gave him a shake. The loose change that came out was the 40 or 50 million that that they got, right? To help the nurses and the medical field. So
Yeah.
to cut the story short, right? Some of you may take on flex jobs. Some of you may take on gigs as in projects and contracts, right? Some of you, and I know UUM is doing this, right? Some of you are being developed and given the support to become an employer, right? Because you are going to do business, you're going to open a business.
Yes.
It's okay, right? It's good. It's actually, you should be proud of it. So for those of you, I know some of you are suppressing, right, your real desire because it doesn't conform to what people say about graduates must be like this. Lepas graduate mesti ada kerja. Kalau tak ada kerja, that means you are not good.
Kalau tak ada kerja, cari orang kaya kahwin. Boleh?
Yeah.
Itu
No,
zaman
that's
dulu.
okay.
Itu zaman
Yeah.
dulu memang. I
Yes.
hate
Yeah.
people saying macam tu.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So those but like I said, okay, I am so happy. I'm very, very happy actually, right? That the current pandemic is teaching a lot of people new things. So now, siapa yang tak kenal Food Panda? Siapa yang tak kenal Grab
Grab.
delivery and Move, isn't it? Right? We are all so thankful that that's that. We are so thankful that we can just order our groceries to be delivered. Right? Yeah. And a lot of I know a lot of people who had full-time jobs are now doing so happy selling food. Okay?
Yeah, betul.
They rediscovered how good they are in cooking. Okay?
Yes, yes.
One of the customers. So right? So it's okay, right? So coming back to your skills, if your skill is problem solving and social media marketing, right? Who says that you have to work for one company? By the way, do you know that even if you do 10 projects, a company cannot pay you 10 for like you they pay 10 people for one person, right? So do your maths. If you do 10 jobs for 10 different people, they will all pay you,
Yes, yes, yeah.
right? So Dr. Hendricks is rightly navigating all of us to think along those lines more precisely, right? So gig workforce. Now, and the country is also geared up. Okay. For example, EPF recognizes, right? And you have to, right? Those of you, if you don't have a permanent job where it's compulsory to contribute to EPF, you still should contribute because that is for your rainy days. It's called ISARA, if I'm not right, if I'm not wrong, ISARA or something, right? So all the infrastructure is very quickly being put into place. Okay, some slower than others, but it will happen, right? Like the employment laws and so forth, rapidly now being thought through in terms of how do we embrace the gig workforce as part of the workforce of the nation, right? So don't worry, inshallah, right? The world is ready. Okay, society is being ready sebab slow sangat ni pandemic dia bagi. Okay, so society is being accelerated. Okay, to be ready mentally to accept these flexes, if you like.
There you have it, Dr. Henry, a very long answer to your question, which, by the way, was a really good one because I know that students are really worried about not getting jobs in the future. Yes, there you have it. Freelancing, gig economy is the way to go, and it's okay. Parents, jangan marah anak kalau dia ada kat rumah, tapi sebenarnya kat rumah tu dia buat benda lain. Dia buat, everything you can do it online. And I like the fact that Dato actually give a shout out to all our food panda and also abang grab food, and it's a relief to see them, tekan doorbell and my kid, mommy abang tu dah datang. So it's like that, and we're giving a livelihood to all these people, and that is very very refreshing, and something that all of us should be grateful of, and that's how we help each other. Let's go to the next question, Dato. In this disruptive era, how do you foresee industrial experience to be like? Obviously, it is going to be challenging for students to get a placement for internship and also for organizations to take them in. How do we replace the industrial experience?
Actually, I'm not sure if that's the statistics. Right? Because in the current, the other skill is data driven. Right? We must be always data driven, right? In terms of, and that helps because the stereotyping and all that, right? The only way to counter that is real statistics, real data. Because within the industry right now, and I'm quite involved, right, in many, not just banking, right, organizations still take in interns. Okay, we especially those who are forward looking. Okay, Actually, companies, if not forward looking, then your days are being counted, right, in terms of your relevance, right, going forward. So I know that forward looking companies, because of the idea that they understand the workforce is going to change, they welcome interns. Okay. uh, if you are encountering a company that says, oh, because of the current situation I don't want interns, I think it's better that you don't go in anyway, because yeah, then you have already an inkling of what's going to happen inside. Okay. That means there are probably a whole bunch of people who are negative and refuse to move on, and
Yeah.
still insist on running things that it was, it's not going to help you anyway. Why would you want to learn? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
betul.
in that place, yeah. So I think unless I see data that says all companies are refusing to take interns, my experience now, my current knowledge is all of us are still taking interns.
Okay, everybody, students, go to Roaring Careers and then apply as an interns. Maybank is still hiring. Thank you. We have a question from somebody named Mambo Jumbo. Ni fake account ke apa ni? Mambo Jumbo. Datuk Nora, do you feel that technology can shape mindset, sometimes for the worse? And if so, how do we stay ahead of simply being shaped by technology, especially in developing strong ethical mindsets and not simply giving way to what is simply possible with technology? Okay.
Very strong question, Mambo Jumbo. So I know that
Siapa tu ni?
Mambo Jumbo is quality Mambo Jumbo then. Okay. I think you answered your question in a way, right? And I had alluded to some of that, right? Technology definitely will demand new behaviors, okay? But it also comes with a lot of lessons. But even without technology, life teaches us lessons, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
Otherwise, we won't grow up. Okay? So early on, we talked about the fact that there is no education like adversity, right? And what does that mean? That means, yes, sometimes you go, oops, kesalah. Oops, I was being hard. Oops, I didn't mean to be a bad person, but that's what I said, right? Even without technology. So apa bezanya, right? So we go back to that fundamental thinking. So I also then have to highlight the fact that I said I'm happy with the maturity that I see in the net, right? Because people are learning that they can pressure bad behavior to become better on the net, right? I mean, it's painful, I know. Sometimes, even my children say, tak payah baca lah, mama, right? Because when I see the tweets and the responses, I go, alamak, alamak, why are they so harsh to each other, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
that is the process of learning, and it's fast. I like it, right? So if you are being mean, a few tweets later, I always see somebody correcting you, right? There you go. So check and balance, humans are learning, are built into technology as well, into digital channels and social media. So we must have more faith. I have more faith, right, in humankind. I have faith in machine learning, okay, because it's facilitated by humans. Okay, be careful. If we totally let go, then maybe the machines will start learning without humans. Then it's very dangerous. Yes. Okay, but that's why we are all doing our part, right? So I would say have faith, but continue to do what we talked about, right? Have the positive mindset, strong ethics, and every one of us have a role to play. Therefore, because just now we also said, in the current times, the power is in the people, right? In the consumer, in the masses. So that is very powerful. If you and I misuse that power, okay, because you have following, everybody has following. If you have 5 friends, you have 5 followers, lah, isn't it? Right? So it's not that, who am I? I'm just this small person with 5 people. Hey, 5 people, right? What did Mother Teresa say? I cannot change the world, but I can throw a pebble and create ripple. Right.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
you go. Right. So
Yeah.
please be also careful, because you one person can actually influence a lot of good things, but you can also influence a lot of bad things, right?
And be careful. Yeah, you need to be careful what you said, because otherwise you face the wrath of the bawang rangers. Yeah, the bawang squad, bawang squad, something like that. Nicely put, Dato. We have several questions, and questions are coming in. The next one will be from Erin Muhammad Noor, KPT. Dato, wanna ask, terdapat cabaran menghadapi new norm dengan orang sekeliling dan persekitaran. So, boleh tak Datuk share bagaimana kita boleh pengaruhi orang sekeliling untuk berubah kepada new norm dan always think positive. Thank you, Erin, for the question.
Okay, Assalamualaikum Erin. Erin, pertamanya saya nak ingatkan kita ni ya tadi saya kata we have influence, we have followers, right? But we cannot have an ambition of being uh, powerful and have millions of followers, right? Because if we are driven by that, then kita akan depressed. Okay, that's why a lot of depression and mental, pressures and all that. So I want you to think about how even if you can influence one person, right? It will make a difference, right? And it will create the ripples, if you like. Yep. So I think that will be my answer.
Thank you, Dato. We have another two questions before we call it a day. This would be from Daniel Azmi Shahrin. Thank you, Daniel. Hi, Datuk Nora. Besides adhering to health precautions set by the government in curbing the spread of the pandemic, how can our youth play a bigger part in kickstarting the economy once all of this is over? Thanks, Daniel.
Yes, thank you, Daniel. That's a very, very good question. By the way, I want to say that I love you already, Daniel, because you know, in fact, in terms of the questions you ask, people ask, not just you, right? People ask. That's also a way that I assess the person, right? So when your interest is on others, that says a lot about you. Okay, so I think there are many platforms, right, that you can go to help, right? So thank you for asking, right? For example, Maybank, okay? We have within our my HR Maybank to you, okay? We call it sama-sama local, okay? Where we invite makcik buat jual nasi kat warung, alright? Or a restaurant or whatever, grocery, kedai runcit kat tepi jalan tu, alright? Put your details there so that people can order, right? So if you want to, there are so many of these that you can make a difference in. Come in and help, okay?
That's nicely put, Datuk, because uh, for you to be able to for us to just touch people, it just need a smile. Because I remember driving here, when you just say hello, tadi I masuk tadi dengan Pak Gad tanya apa khabar, that put a smile on his face, even though that person, Cik Nasrul tu, has been working day in day out, jaga dekat gate, and you just need to acknowledge and say how are you, that is a simple example of how we could put a smile on others. Last question we have from Puan Norizan, School of Business Management. Dato, these new norms seems to be quite abnormal for most people. What would be your advice to employers and employees to ensure a smooth running of organizations immediately after MCO is lifted? Thank you, Kak Ijan.
Another very, very good question, Puan Norizan. I have to say that when I mentioned just now that everybody is working very hard to learn and to make sure that we come out better, that is one of the most important thing that people need to look into, as Puan Norizan highlighted. So companies, for example, I start with companies. We must have our post-COVID plan, post-MCO plan. There will never be post-COVID lah. but unless there's the vaccine is
Yes. Yeah.
discovered
We
really
don't
quick.
know when is that going to happen. We don't.
Exactly. So there's post MCO. Okay. Now post MCO plan is absolutely critical. I have to remind everybody because otherwise kita semua leave the MCO and then it strikes us again, right? And then we all have to go back again, right? Masya Allah. So please tolonglah. Saya minta tolong sangat-sangat. Okay, right? Please do have post MCO plan, which means kita stagger, right? Those who don't have to go out masa post MCO pun stay rumah dulu, right? Social distancing has to be a new normal, right? Which are very good, right? Good practices, right? And companies like Maybank, we are finalizing, all right, and it will never be final because learning is important, right? So we have our first version, we are already ready, we know how we stagger, we will change a lot of rules, right? Lift, ya, sebelum ni selagi tak bunyi semua masuk, right? Semua ketawa-ketawa. Actually, it's no joke. It's not funny, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes. Betul.
So now, maximum 5 orang, right? That will be a new normal. Now, for human beings, not companies, right? We have now why to intention. Okay, why am I staying home? Right? Please use the rest of the MCO time if those yang kita yang belum betul-betul sedar, right? Please know that we are staying home because we have a choice. Actually, we have a choice, right? And I stay home because I want to keep myself safe. I want to keep others safe. I want to help our people in the hospitals. Okay? So, kalau itu kita punya intention, kita punya niat, right? Then when post MCO pun, we will always want to make sure that is the case. Which means, if I have flu, ini actually from those days kan, if we have flu, kenapa some of us still pergi kerja, still go and chit chat dengan orang, and then we sneeze tutup macam ni, lepas tu kita pegang, right? And it's very contagious. Right? Jadi kita tak kisah orang lain dapat from kita. So those are things we have to make into our discipline and daily regime, right? Care for others, right?
Yeah.
Care for us, care for others, and alhamdulillah, inshallah, then we will take all these learnings into the our BAU as a person.
Yeah. Betul, Dato'. I agree. Fighting this pandemic, is not the responsibility of the government. It's not the responsibility of, Dr. Hisham alone or Tan Sri Muhyiddin alone. It's everybody. I saja mention Dr. Hisham because I think he's one hell of a cool guy. Cool and calm and collected.
And we wish him happy birthday, yeah, recently.
Yes, yeah, I forgot to do that, but I'll text him, text him. Okay, Dato', and everybody needs to do our part. And it's more about looking out for others rather than just kita je. I mean, the world doesn't revolve around us. Let's do our part to stop this and try to see the good in everything and move ahead. We need to move on. We cannot just stand still and hope things will get better. We should do our part. So Dato, looks like we've covered a lot of bases. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you would like to add as your parting words? Nak bagi shout out ke, nak bagi apa ke?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. To sum everything up lah, yeah, that we have discussed. Right? I want to quote this. This is from Jackson actually. Jackson Brown. So the best preparation for tomorrow. So the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. Okay. Wherever, regardless, right? You don't say, "Oh, when I have a job, I'm going to be a good person. When I go out, I want to be a good person." No. You start now, right? So the best preparation for tomorrow is do your best today.
Thank you, Dato. I'll speak to you soon. So everyone, I'm afraid that's all the time that we have for now. On behalf of the Center for University Industry Collaboration, CUICUUM, and also University Utara Malaysia, I would like to express our gratitude to our speaker, the lovely Datuk Nora, for a very insightful session today. Thank you very much, Datuk. I'm sure what you have shared would greatly help universities and students and all of us to better understand what's going on around us. Ladies and gentlemen, this session will not be possible without the presence of all of you, our viewers. Thank you for all the comments and the support from our colleagues from UUM's Corporate Com, UMT, JPP, Teams UIC Connectors, School of Business and Management, and also from Group Human Capital, Maybank. And also a quick shout out to my bosses. They just let CUIC do whatever that we feel is necessary. Thank you, Dato. Thank you, Prohayo. We thank you for being with us today. Don't forget to follow CUIC's Facebook page and join us again for our next virtually connected series as we bring the industry closer. Everybody, let's continue to support our frontliners and be nice to one another. Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye, everyone. This is M3 signing off. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon, Dato. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.